Good morning, YouTube. Today we have Jake Kennedy, and he'll be featuring the what?
The Frightfurs.
Frightfurs. Alright, let's get into it.
First of all, we're running 3 Fluffal Dog. He is your Stratos of the deck. He adds any Fluffal or your just Edge Up Sabers to your hand for fast plays. Next, we're running 3 Fluffal Mouse. Because Fluffal Mouse, when you bring him out, you can special summon the other copies from the deck, so it's easier for polymerization for, say, Tiger or Wolf to get a lot of materials. We're running 2 Owl because 1, he adds Poly to hand, and second of all, paying 500, he can be Poly, but you can only activate one of these effects once per turn. Next, we're running 2 Bear, which is my favorite Fluffal, because when if you tribute him, you add Poly back to your hand, and if you send him from hand to graveyard, then you can set your Toy Vendor for all your fast plays. Next, we're running 2 Fluffal Wings. Fluffal Wings goes with the Toy Vendor, which you banish him in another Fluffal, draw a card, pop Toy Vendor, draw a card, and then Toy Vendor's effective obviously goes off. The 3-card combo. 1 Sheep. If you have another Fluffal on the field, you can special summon Sheep, and you can return a Fluffal on the field to the hand to special summon an Edge Imp from the graveyard or the hand. Last for the Fluffals, we're running 1 Cat. When you use him as a material for a fusion summon, you get to add the polymerization back from your deck to your hand, or your graveyard to your hand. Onto the Edge Imps, we're running 2 or 3 Edge Imp Chain. He's your searcher of the deck as well. Whenever he hits graveyard, you can search for a Frightfur card from your deck to your hand. And whenever he attacks, you can add any Edge Imp Chain to your hand. Next, we're running 2 Sabers. He's going to be the one with the strongest Edge Imp to go for Tiger or Wolf. Whenever he's in the graveyard, return the top card of your deck to the top of the deck, and then you special summon him in defense from the graveyard. We're running 1 Frightfuloid. You may be wondering why. Well, he counts as a Frightfur, and plus, if there's a Frightfur on the field or the graveyard, you can target it and his attack becomes that. So he's just a boosted up power monster. Plus, it's easier to, 1 step closer to getting out Chimera. Last for the monsters, we're running 2 King of the Swamps. If I get a 3rd one, I'd run it, but discard him for Poly, basically, and then he becomes any material you need for your XZ summoning. I mean, your X fusions, sorry. On the spells, we're running 3 Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor effect is you discard a card, show the top card of the deck. If that is a Fluffal, you can special summon a monster in your hand. If it's not, it's sent to graveyard. And of course, whenever it's destroyed, you can add a Fluffal monster from your deck to your hand. And it goes with the wings as well. We have 3 Frightfur Fusion, which is your Miracle Fusion of the deck, which you banish from graveyard or field to summon lots of monsters. Next, we are running 2 Polymerization, that fuses monsters together. 2 Dark Fusion, it's the same except for the whole turn they cannot be targeted, and it only special summons fiends. 2 Twin Twisters to discard to pop 2 cards on the field, it's really good. 1 Frightfur Factory, it's your Polymerization. If you banish Polymerization or a fusion spell card in your graveyard. And whenever it's destroyed and a Frightfur Fusion is banished, you can add to your hand. 1 Fusion Conscription to just add any of the requirement monsters to your hand. Sadly, for the rest of that turn, they cannot activate their effects. 1 Raigeki Blow Up Field. And I'm trying out the Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, because it's really good because you bring out any over 100 number and then rank it up. And I go for 101 or 107. But I can also, if Sabers is in the graveyard, I can put this back to the top of the deck and then draw it next turn. It's pretty good. And then last, my 2 traps are Fusion Reserve, which you show a Frightfur monster, or you show any fusion monster, and you add its requirements to the hand, and you can add Poly from graveyard to hand. Onto the extra deck, we are running 1 Bear. He's used for the Fusion Reserve and the Fusion Conscription, but also if you want to bring him out, he steals a monster, and by destroying it, and it steals it onto him and equips onto it, and he'll gain 1,000 attack, so he just becomes a big beater. 2 Frightfur Wolf, because for every material you use, he can attack that many times. He's critical for the OTK. 3 Tiger, which is probably the best Frightfur so far. For every material used like Wolf, you can blow up that many cards, and he gives every Frightfur 300 attack for every Frightfur on the field, so it ranks up, the attack just goes skyrocketing. 2 Frightfur Sheep, The fun deck that Arthur obviously hates. It's an Armades. Whenever it's destroyed, you can bring it back with 800 more attack points once per turn, so it's hard to get rid of. 1 Fright for Leo because it's a Volcasaurus. Blow up a monster your opponent takes its original attack as damage. 2 Sabertooth. Use 3 materials, and he cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And when he is fusion summoned, you can bring back from the graveyard any Frightfur fusion monster from your graveyard to the field. So him and Wolf just gain attack. My favorite Frightfur is Chimera. He requires 3, sadly. But he's both an Armades and a Goyo at the same time. Attack and destroys a monster and steals it to your side of the field. And he gains 300 attack for each. So yeah, pretty good. Xyz, we're running Cowboy for game, basically. 107 and Neo Galaxy Eyes for the rank up match 7th one.
Awesome. So how's this deck been treating you?
It's treating me really well. We've had a lot of free-for-alls, and it's really good. It's really fast. The deck, I really love it so much. I really hope we get more support, and just, yeah.
Awesome.
Subscribe to Sonic Ducks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.